We are back for a very awaited and also a super exciting episode of finally getting to assemble and kind of start to put some of our pieces back onto the car. I have just a vast array of parts that are painted and ready to go back on the car so we can finally assemble this up and start to see what this is actually going to look like semi-complete. Super excited for this. Stay tuned. We're just pretty much going to start by kind of one section at a time and see what we can all get completed. I'm going to start up with the rear section on the car. We'll get the rear bumper on, the corner pieces. We also might get some of the lights on this car as well. I did do some custom tail lights as well as some headlights. We should be able to hopefully get some of that stuff on this. But let me go ahead, get the camera set up.
Take you're using that to set your end on?
We can do that to set just kind of the middle on.
I haven't put it in though.
Just wanted to take a short little snippet just to show you front end lighting that we have that we're going to be running on this car. This is what approximately $2,000 worth in lighting looks like for our front end. Just to go over this for an overview, these headlights are off of a 1994 Dodge Stealth. They have the glass lens, being that it's the 1994 model. And I took them, I robo-modded them, which involves pulling out the insert on the inside, removing it. I painted the inside a matte black, and then I also added some halos. And pulling that insert out, what it does is it shows all the internals, and this is what you end up with. So definitely some sweet modifications with that. And these are some good quality halos from Morimoto. They are switchbacks, so they will be white. And then when we turn the turn signal on, these will turn amber and blink with turn signals. Additionally, to go along with the 94 Stealth headlights that have this corner and it's not rounded off, we have the 99 turn signals to match that will mate up with this perfectly. And these will also pair with a 99 front bumper. These turn signals are very, very rare, highly sought after, and incredibly hard to get. I restored these, I cleaned them up, and I made these look a million times better than they were when I first got them. They look almost brand new now. A couple of micro scratches in these, but I did wet sand them down quite a bit, cleaned them up, and I did re-clear coat them, as well as repainted this black. So that's why these are looking beautiful like they look right now. I'd probably give these an 8.5 out of 10 condition wise. There's no cracks or major damage on them, which is awesome. Also restored all of the brackets on everything. So this whole setup is going to look freaking sweet on the car once we put it over there. There is also one more piece that you will need in order to install these 99 turn signals, and it goes into the fenders. You will need a set of these clips. There is the part number. I found this off of some other YouTuber, Miguel DSM, who makes some pretty sweet videos, and he's actually the one that I was able to find this necessary part out to run these 99 turn signals. So you'll need one of these clips, and it'll go right in this corner spot of the fender right there. And this is what allows you to bolt that turn signal into that side right there. This is the very first look of seeing what this car looks like with the headlights as well as the turn signals on. Essentially, up to this point, this is pretty much, aside from the bumper, a 99 front end conversion. And it's actually my very first time seeing one in person. I've never owned one of these cars with the 99 front end conversion, let alone I have yet to actually even see one in person with this look. But I gotta say, definitely unique. And this whole setup that we got going right here is just, it's extremely rare and hard to come by. So let me go ahead. I did install all of the lights and the turn signals, as well as the headlights for the low beams and the brights. So let's go ahead and see how these lights work, make sure everything operates. Everything will work except for the halos right now. I don't have those wired up yet. One of the other things too is that we do have some issues with the gaps. Stuff isn't quite aligning up to where I want it to, as well as the headlights. The leveler isn't quite level in there. Part of that is just because we don't have that front bumper on right now. Normally these parts would kind of rest on top of the front bumper, which would be another spacer on the bottom side of this to bring this up, and it's also going to kind of support things up a little better. This stuff it's a little bit loose, the side turn signals, but really there's hardly anything that even holds these things on. This is literally one bolt and just a little hook that hooks into the headlight. So right now this is super flimsy. That is going to conclude this episode on the VR4, making some great progress on it. Rear bumper is now on. We did get the tail lights all wired up, and those are working properly. We do have the doors assembled somewhat and on the car. You might have noticed as well, these window trims are brand new. I did pick up a set of these just because the old ones were pretty beat up and tore, quite a bit of chrome showing through. And it's one of those small pieces that makes a huge difference in the quality and how this looks. I do need to get the windows working properly. They're not wanting to come all the way up. Don't have the door handles painted yet, but that will be soon to come in the future. And then we have the fenders on, obviously, as well as the lighting in the front. And just look at how cool that looks. We're gonna call this video a wrap. I don't wanna do too much in this, and we'll kind of leave it for the next episode. We will need to make some repairs and do some small work in order to get some stuff and body parts fitted on. Stay tuned for the next video.